In other news, the trial of a former Catholic priest accused of sexual assault by 9 different women across the country is underway at the McLennan County Courthouse. Anthony Odiong served at Baylor's St. Peter's Catholic Student Center in Waco and St. Mary's of the Assumption in West from 2006 to 2012, and another church in Louisiana. 3 alleged victims from McLennan County are expected to testify about the abuse they faced in the trial. If convicted on all charges, Odiong could face life in prison. Today, a jury was selected and testimony begins tomorrow. News 10's Jessica Rajkumar is live at the courthouse now. Jess, what have you seen today?
That's right, Gordon. As of now, 100 McLennan County residents have finally left the courtroom, annex courtroom, as the final jury has been selected before testimony tomorrow. So prosecution and defense both talked with potential jurors on what their responsibilities would be if they were selected for this jury. And while many people came today already knowing facts about this case from stories circulating online, attorneys in the case say jurors' decisions must be based on evidence presented in court. So for this trial, 12 jurors and 2 alternates were supposed to be selected. So now we have 14 jurors total. And prosecution kicked off the jury selection, explaining to potential jurors how the DA's office must prove that Anthony Odiong is guilty of sexual assault beyond a reasonable doubt. Attorneys with the DA's office say jurors must consider how exploitation factors into consent and emotional dependency. A law in Texas says if a clergyman or religious figure causes a person to verbally submit for sex, even if there is a verbal agreement, the state does not see this as consensual. So jurors must decide if there was exploitation from Odiong and emotional dependence from victims in the case. Odiong's defense attorneys asked potential jurors on their views of religious figures and how much control they have over people who turn to them, even bringing up examples like David Koresh to gauge potential jurors' views on the situation. So around 5:20, all the 100 people were dismissed from the annex courthouse, and now we are left with a final jury for the trial. So the jury is made up of 8 women and 4 men, with 2 women serving as alternates. All 14 will hear testimony tomorrow morning. Now, myself and our Tommy Witherspoon will be at the courthouse providing you updates as soon as we see them and know about them. But for more information and more in-depth coverage on this case, you can head to our stories on our website at kwtx.com. For now, in Waco, Jessica Rajkumar, KWTX News 10.